Hey, how you doing? Adam here. Time is currently 9:56. Date is 9/29/2016. Maybe if I actually listened to myself in the headphones, I'd be better able to gauge whether it's I'm audible or not. It's because it's sometimes I look at the waveform and it just doesn't look like I'm saying anything. Like it just looks very small. But I think that's more because Sony Vegas, like the waveform doesn't come up very big in Vegas, or it's very narrow as compared to like Adobe Audition. So I'm always seeing it as small, and I'm thinking it's not coming up loud enough, but usually it is. Every time I've ever gone back and listened, it's like it's never been not loud enough. So I don't know why I keep always bringing that up. Like every journal, like the first fucking thing I always say is, "Oh, I gotta turn the volume up." Uh, I think right there, like the end of that just sounded like strange to me. Like, 'cause it's like I said before. It's like I catch the, I start running before I catch the ball, like an NFL receiver. And also right there, I was just imitating John Lennon saying, John Lennon imitating Paul McCartney saying, "Oh, we've got to get another album done." Yeah, so that's what that is. 'Cause I've listened to like every fucking Beatle interview on YouTube. I did this thing again tonight where I like wrote down the things I wanted to talk about. Like I wrote down a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm not too sure if I want to keep doing this, just because it doesn't feel like as organic or whatever. But I'll just do it anyway. The first thing was, well, see, it's not going to sound organic if I fucking list it like, first thing was. But then there's that thing where it's like, it just kind of feels dishonest if I'm not letting you in on like my fucking process here, And it's funny because every time I've ever listened back to something where I thought like, oh, this is obvious. They're just gonna see like my whole process here, and it's seeing that there's nothing magical going on. It's just every time I felt like something was obvious, it just wasn't. Like I remember Teller, like from Penn and Teller, said once that he had no idea how like people didn't see right through his magic tricks. Like he had no idea how what he was doing wasn't just painfully obvious. But I guess that's it's the whole misdirection thing. Because you're less apparent than you think you are. Or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm just like completely fucking transparent and you could just see like every like shortcut I'm taking, pre-packaged fucking answer that I have. That I feel the need to like call out just because I don't know. I have no idea why I even call it out. It's just because it feels like on some level that I'm being dishonest when I take like verbal shortcuts, or just when I feel like I'm imitating somebody. When I can spot the influence of what I've said, it just feels dishonest on some level, and it's just I feel like I have to call that out when it happens. But anyway, the first thing was that I wrote down was Tom Brady. I remember for some reason today I was thinking of this moment in an Eagles game from last year. It was when they played the Patriots, and the Eagles like they beat them, unexpectedly. It was like an underdog thing, but there was this moment when Tom Brady he like threw an interception, I think to Malcolm Jenkins. And Tom Brady was like, because after he threw the interception, Malcolm Jenkins ran to the other end zone. So, it was a pick six, an interception returned for a touchdown. But on the way, like, Malcolm Jenkins was running towards the end zone, and Tom Brady was chasing him. And, and then there was something about the way Tom Brady, like, tried to grab him, like, as he was trying to, like, tackle him, but he missed the tackle. But there was something about the way Tom Brady tried to tackle him that just is like, I don't know if I thought of this in the moment or this is just something that I thought of like today or just, sometimes I don't know when these thoughts like come up in my head. But I just remember thinking that Tom Brady seemed very like there was something very evil about it. Like something, and also with that game, there was something else with that game too. Like, because the Patriots almost came back in that game. Like by some magic, they almost came back. And the Patriots are good for that, actually. But it just made me think of like, just I don't know why it made me think of this, but like like just the juvenileness of it, like the I don't know, like like it's just like see, I'm fucking not able to get my thoughts out here. Like if you think like a cartoon of like I'm thinking of like a Looney Tunes cartoon where there's like a kid with his like a baby with like the arms behind the back and like being all bashful and shit, like put your mommy to mama, like like but being bashful but also like thinking something just fucking horrifically evil at the same time. I wish I could, but somehow that is related to the Patriots coming back on the Eagles. Like, just like I'm thinking like the devil, like it's something just the devil and like the childness of it, like the naivety of it, Like, I just really wish I could pinpoint what I'm saying here, but I know what I'm saying. It's the Patriots are evil, and they use their evil to intimidate their opponents. But that doesn't relate to them trying to come back, or maybe it does. I don't know. But it's just it's very man. And I'm using the word evil in the sense of like that kind of evil. Like if you were ever like young and believed in hell. Like, just the image you would have in your head as a kid of hell. That kind of evil. And that's how the Patriots win. So they just, they scare their opponents with, hellish evil. It's something like that. Something that there was just something in the way Tom Brady tried to tackle the guy. The motion of it that just like it looked like that hellish evil, like that ha 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 ha. But not even that. That's too comic book of it. It's just I don't know. I don't fucking know what I'm saying here. It makes no sense. Yeah, and then there was the second thing written on here is I kept thinking of that sweet onion sweet thin journal entry, and I remembered what I was thinking there was I don't think it had well I mean it did have to do with the Rolling Stones, but there was this sort of like evolution thing that I was thinking of, like how Pokemon, like Bulbasaur evolves into Venusaur, Bulbasaur evolves into Ivysaur, then into Venusaur. It's just like as you progress along the evolution, certain things start to express themselves, like the expression of itself is more apparent. Like in Bulbasaur, it's that bud, then it's slowly it's expressing that flower thing. Or Venusaur, it's a fully bloomed flower, but Bulbasaur, it's like this little bulb. And so I was saying that I think as you get older, like things just start expressing themselves more that weren't apparent when you were younger. And so I think that had something. It was something about the sweet onion on the front of the package of it that just like it felt like it was something expressing itself. Maybe it's just because onions, they have a very pungent odor. I think that may have been it, and I think it was also tied into Plants vs. Zombies. There's a plant in there where you can put down like an onion, and the zombie eats it and then goes. Bleh. It was something about that too. And And then there's also the third thing I wrote on here was just like the visceral feeling, like I don't, and you know, you read things sometimes you don't actually have like you don't actually feel it, you know, like you don't actually like have an intuitive understanding of what you're reading, but just lately, I feel like even in like the last 5 years, even, um, you know, I just have this intuitive sort of understanding of just like you think back like a couple decades, like in the 70s, even, just like it feels like you're looking back on the fucking Stone Age. And you know, people use that expression like, you know, oh, that was a Stone Age. This is Stone Age technology, you know, like sarcastically, but uh, you know, earlier decades now, they're very, even in the past 5 years, have gotten more Stone Age like, to me anyway. So, yeah, well, this journal's over. Wasted so much talking about that dumb Tom Brady thought, or you know, the New England Patriots being evil. You know, I just hope some of that like made sense to anyone. Um, okay, I'm done. Goodbye.